I'm not gifted. I'm just driven. So that's when you move from motivation to driven to obsessed. It's how you get through that on a daily basis. We forget how badass we are during that hard time. It's all on you. It's all on you. The self part is what's big. I'm going to make myself good enough. I'm driven. I'm obsessed. I want to prove people wrong. I'm a warrior. I'm here again today. I'm here again tomorrow. I'm going to be here the next day. Thicken your skin. Become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror, because that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it. You're going to have to suffer, man. It's how you get somewhere in life. Motivation is crap. It comes and goes as how you feel. Anytime you move from being normal to trying to be exceptional, people aren't going to like those normal people. It makes them feel like they're going to judge you. And nowadays, it's very easy to be a coward. Why? We got Instagram and shit. Most folks don't tell you to your face. They go online, they post about like cowards. Don't make them hurt your feelings. Use them for fuel. Use them for energy. In times of need, put them on the mental Rolodex in your mind. And when you don't want to do shit, roll through your brain. Pull up that that you need. That person who said you couldn't do something. Weren't fast enough, good enough, smart enough, what it may be. Use it for energy. Instead of killing them with kindness, torture them with success. In life, we have to continue pushing past the odds. Use everything this world has to give you for fuel. Stay uncommon amongst uncommon people. You're never done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Stay hard. A lot of folks talk about overtraining. You gotta train first before you can overtrain. So as far as the workout goes, we overthink that also. Until you find a trainer, go out there and start walking. Put some shoes on, start running. Go to the gym, do the elliptical trainer. It's not rocket science. Sometimes you wake up in the morning time and you're sore and you feel like you're overtrained. No, you got sore legs. Get out of your own head and stop overthinking it. Stay hard. We all have dreams, so I figured the best place to make those dreams come true are in isolation. The biggest thing you have to do is shut off technology. You have to go dark. So I walked into isolation as David Goggins, but I walked out of isolation as Goggins. When you become a savage, is in isolation. But the solitude right now that a lot of us are dealing with is what we don't want to deal with. It's the fact that we have to think about all these things that we don't like about ourselves. We like to use life as a big escape. That escape is not there anymore. All these distractions that we use, they're no longer there. This is the time right now for you to stop avoiding things. Get that pen and paper out. Look inside yourself. Stop looking at me or other people out here to be the hero of your story. This is time for you right now in all that solitude to get to know who you are as a person. Be alone with yourself. Write that down. Start to face these different things in life. Knowing one thing in life, we are all very fragile in this world. We have to know that when we die with some meaning and some purpose in this world. Stay hard. You have to create the real reality. So that's what I call my accountability mirror in my book. That's the real reality. Where the f am I going to start from? So for me, I was lying to this, lying about that. So I had no starting point. Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. All right, I'm not real smart. I have no courage. I have no self-esteem. I have no nothing. Nothing. That's my starting point. Now we can move from there. But if I tell myself I'm strong, I have courage, I'm smart, and all these are lies, you continuously push that starting point backwards. So that starting point is the truth. When you're trying to get better in life, the grind's forever. There is no end. As long as you're breathing, you gotta keep trying to get better. The refrigerator's never full. You've never arrived in life. What have you done today
No one cares what you did yesterday. You gotta change your dialogue. Yeah, I used to be mentality doesn't work. What have you done today to better yourself?
Lifting weights, people don't get it, man. It's not like lifting weights. It's like, we go and do like so many reps. Like people go, oh, you're only doing was like 90 some pounds on the incline. Do 5 sets of 25 with a superset of push-ups, superset of curls, superset of pull-ups, superset of triceps. We're going through lifting lightweight, but for massive, massive amounts of reps. And so you're like totally swollen. If you like bench pressing and you bench press all the time, what are you finding out? If you like to swim, that's all you want to do is swim, what are you finding out? People talk about triple down on your strengths. That's the fucking weak in the world. No, triple down on your weaknesses. Find out something about yourself. I'm going to tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be happy. Is I have the ability to see the end before the beginning even begins. And what that means is I know that to get to the very end, I can see it right now. I saw myself walking across the stage at 191 pounds. That's what I had to get to get into the door. I saw myself 6 months, a year later, whatever's gonna take me to do it. I saw myself walking across that stage, getting that certificate of graduation from Buds. And I was able to be there at 300 pounds. And that feeling that I was nowhere near that feeling, I was able to put myself there 1,000,000 times every day. And that feeling of like, my God, that is gonna feel fucking amazing. That's what made me suffer. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. And my goal when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was the only person that's gonna turn this person around is me. I'm training my mind and my body and my spirit so it's all one, so I can handle what life is gonna throw at me. Because the life I've lived, it throws a whole bunch at you. And if you're not physically and mentally prepared for that, you're just gonna crumble and you're good for nobody. In times of suffering, what we do is we forget how hard we really are. Because that's what suffering is. Suffering is a test, that's all it is. Suffering is the true test of life. Is now where I'm at today. And that is, when you finally get to that point for me, it's forever lasting peace. Greatness isn't running 200 miles at a time or doing 4,000 pull-ups or being a SEAL. Greatness is whatever the hell you dreamed of in your own mind. You gotta first see it. You gotta first create this vision in your mind. And then that's when I come into play. Once you create this vision in your mind, it's how am I gonna get there? We are all great. No matter if you think you're dumb, no matter if you think you're fat, no matter if you are fat, no matter if you've been bullied, or no matter if you just got back from Iraq or Afghanistan and you have no legs or your arms or whatever, man, we all have greatness. You gotta find the courage. You gotta find the courage to put your Bose headphones on and silence the noise out of this world and to find it that sets you apart from everybody else. And that's what it's all about. If I had to walk, I had to walk. It just became just a process of grinding, and grinding is not even a good word for it. It's not even a good word for it. I have to become someone in this world or I'm no good for anybody. It comes from a disgusting place of not being fulfilled in your life, of afraid of dying, having never accomplished anything. That's a fear that some people run away from, that people don't want to face. When you have a real fear of dying and being just another person, that I live to pay the bills. I made $1,000 a month. This is my life. I spray for cockroaches, man. If that makes you feel good, that's great. It didn't make me feel good. I wanted to, the first time in my life, after 26 years, it was 24, 25, wherever I was, I wanted to feel good about myself. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I walked around and I put these people on a pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're gonna judge me and I'm gonna feel even worse than what I am. When it becomes something that steady just pecks at you all day long, no matter what you're doing, I could be talking to you and this voice at the same time like, what are you doing? you doing, man? You're a loser. Where you going, man? This is what you can do your whole life. So it'd be talking to me as I'm talking to everybody. It was almost like I had two people. And I'm like, good God, just shut up. I want to be comfortable. I want to be left alone. Like, I don't want to face all these things that life gave me. I was just an insecure, scared kid. But the best thing that happened to me, no one helped me. So the only way I could turn it around was to suffer. I had to build calluses in my brain the same way I built calluses on my hands. I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created, but I never blamed God for anything he did to me. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. And my goal when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was the only person that's gonna turn this person around is me. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you gotta flush it out. You gotta just be whoever the hell God or whoever the hell you believe in. If you believe in nothing but yourself, I don't care what it is. You gotta take everything and throw it away. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. And I'm not saying don't believe in God or what you believe in, but right now, for you to find greatness in yourself, you're not gonna find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you've got to go inside yourself to find it. How? That's the question. How are you gonna do that? Thicken your skin. Become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror. And that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, on the other side is greatness. The one thing that made me who I am today is being vulnerable. It's breaking myself down to the absolute rock bottom and being able to tell people who I am. And that's how I fixed it. Literally, look somebody in the eye and say, you know what, man, I have a whole bunch of character problems, character flaws. I've lied about this. I've cheated here. I'm insecure here. This isn't the real me. I lied to you about that. I wanted your acceptance in life. All those things happen. But the thing about it is that we get judged so quickly by who we are. We don't know. We don't go to where it happened. Life created this person, me. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix it though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where they started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you. It's not addictive at all, because you don't want to live there, but it's definitely a place that makes you look at people very differently. Because once you see, if I was born with a silver spoon and everything was given to me and life came easy, but knowing where I came from and where I'm at now, just because I was able to crack open a few more doors, that's what's disappointing for me, for other people. So it's not that I want to live there, I know I can go there. And once again, I know other people can go there. So I guess that's the thing with me, is I know I have the ability now to go to a place that's very, very hyper-focused, that I can accomplish some pretty amazing feats. Not because I'm amazing, because I allowed my mind to be open-minded for the possibilities of what can I achieve. Takes the growth in your mental aspect, in your spiritual, everything grows because you start feeling better about yourself. Not many things on the planet make you feel good about yourself like getting after it, doing something that challenges you mentally and physically every day. You cannot live in that normal mindset. You must be your best on your worst day. And how you do that is you cannot think of a normal mindset. You cannot have a normal mindset. My big takeaway of life is if you're constantly taking the easy way out, you're never gonna callous your mind. I was a chameleon living in life who could barely get by. So I know that they were taking the normal mindset of people. They weren't talking about the 1%ers, the people who want it like there's no tomorrow. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain. And your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways. And it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain, and your brain controls you, you're You got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. 99.9% of the shit I did to get to where I'm at today was alone, out there running in cold and heat, suffering in pools, trying to swim, at home in a room by myself, trying to teach myself how to read and write, how to study. You know, no one saw that shit. There was no video camera, there was no podcast, there was no Who's David Goggins. It was me. Just for me trying to get in the military. Everybody can do. It's easy. Just trying to learn how to read and write was something that blows Rocky away. Because I'm proud of what I created, but I'm more proud I created it without an audience, without a cheering squad, without someone like, come on man, you got it, you can do it. You know who you are. Then there's no motherfucker out there when you're running. And you're at mile 75, 150 mile race, ain't nobody cheering for you. You're broken, you're fucking defeated. It's you and you alone in your fucking head. And I stayed that way for the better part of 30 years, trying to figure it out. A lot of us are going through fucking hell. Maybe not as bad as me, maybe worse than me. But they don't know how to express it because we're supposed to live in a world where we have to talk a certain way. We have to walk a certain way. We have to act a certain way. A kinder, gentler world. Nothing gets handled in that fucking world. You stay stuck in that world. You stay in a world of things will get better because someone said they would, and I need to find peace. No, you need to go to fucking war with yourself, man. At the end of that fucking war, you'll sit back all damaged and bruised and scarred up and fucked up, and maybe your psoas muscles so tight that you may lose 2 inches on your body. Who knows? At the end of that war, you're gonna sit back on a couch, maybe have a glass of water, drink a beer. The war may be 30 years, but when it ends, you will know what it's all about then, and then you'll find your peace. You'll find your peace then. But until then, you'll always be searching to find that nice, kind book that guides you beyond all your personal suffering, that miracles your fucking ass to peace. It doesn't happen, man, but you're just scratching the surface of real life. You know how you get mentally tough? It's a lifestyle. The only thing that gets me mad nowadays is that so many people die with untapped potential because they think that someone else is better than them. Instead of hitting that snooze button in the morning and not making your bed and not cleaning your house, you don't hit the snooze button. You get up. You don't want to go run, you go run. You don't want to go swim, you go swim. You don't want to make your bed, you make your bed. You don't want to clean your house, you clean your house. You don't want to study, you can study. That's how you start to callous your mind. It's going to suck. It's not going to be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow. First big problem is that you have put a lot of people above you. Put no one above you. No one. I put God above me. Besides that, there's no one better than me. If you're playing Roger Federer, before you get on the court with Roger Federer, he's the best of all time. But you're also a professional tennis player, man. You're forgetting your own fucking resume. So once you get on the court, let's say it's a grand slam. It's 5 sets. Hopefully, if you can go the distance with this guy. But before you even bounce the ball to serve it, you're down 2 sets. Because why? You look across and you're playing Roger Federer. But guess what? You hit a good shot on Roger Federer in the 3rd set. And you realize, I can play with this motherfucker. But it's too late. You gave up 2 sets before you got on the court. The mind always has the tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows your fears. It knows your insecurities. It knows where they're hiding. I wanted to quit every single day, but many dreams die while suffering. And many of us out here have suffered. And when you're suffering, I'm not talking about just physically, I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. It could be a relationship. When you're suffering, you give up on the very things that you wanted the most. When I was going through pararescue, I wanted to be a pararescueman so bad, but that water haunted me. So when the suffering got too much, my dream died. And pretty much I almost died with it. If I didn't find Navy SEALs and getting past that hump and overcoming my demons and facing my demons every day, I would have never been up here today. You can't outrun your demons. They'll always know where you're hiding. Trust me at that. And I'm gonna end with this. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. I had to literally talk about, a man. I had to make a man in what I thought a man was supposed to be in my mind. I created what I thought a man was supposed to be in my mind. And that's what I started doing. So I looked at myself in the mirror, and when I looked at myself in the mirror, man, I wasn't proud of who I was. And I kept on backsliding. And I made the decision. When I was 297 pounds, I gained 125 pounds. I was 175 to 297. Had left the military, left the Air Force, and I was working for Ecolab, making $1,000 a month. I was at the bottom of the barrel. I had become exactly what life had made me, and what I had made me too. I said, I'm gonna die trying. I don't give a fuck what it does to me. I don't give a fuck if I break myself off. I don't care if I lose legs. I don't care if I have stress. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much pain I go through. I don't care, but this reflection in the mirror will change, or I will die trying. I will die. I will not look at this guy in the mirror anymore, because I can lie to you right now. I go back to that mirror every night, and I usually shave my head almost every damn night, and I gotta sit there for 15 minutes and look at myself in the mirror. And that reflection is telling me everything I'm not. And it starts to, some of us are allowed to go away from that. I was haunted. Every day, 24 hours a day, this voice would be in my head. Hey, you ain't shit. This is what you're gonna be the rest of your life, man. To the point I said, you know what? I'm gonna break myself off, man, trying to fix this person. So that's why it's worth it, because now sitting in front of you today, I earned the right to be broken. And people go, man, what does that mean? Every scar, every wound, every broken bone, every issue I had, even all these little marks come on my body, it comes from sacrifice, trying to become someone. And I'm not saying do what I did. My life took me down a journey that almost forced me to propel myself to where I went. And it was worth it. I was looking for strength my entire life. I didn't have any. I was a really weak kid. My dad beat the living shit out of me and I was strong as a young kid. But me protecting my mom for so many years in that house, my dad made me very afraid, because he beat the shit out of me every time I went at him. So in that, every man wants courage. Every man wants strength. At least this one does. So I found it in every way possible. And when I see a strong guy, I was like, okay, maybe he can teach me. So he didn't know anything about me. So time went on, I left school, and then this guy was in my mind. We suffer every day. It's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And that's how I started coming up. I just started being very uncomfortable. And now it's like just a way of life. What I realized is, for me to become the man I wanted to become, I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created. But I never blamed God for anything he did to me. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. And my goal, when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was, the only person that's gonna turn this person around is me. The only way I can turn it around is put myself through the worst things possible a human being can ever endure. And that'd be the only way that I can build this brain to handle anything that comes in front of it, callousing my mind through pain and suffering. No one's gonna come back to save me. No one's gonna come back on this couch and say, hey, it's okay. You're gonna be okay. No, I'm not. When your life gets hard and life is coming at you, you will panic and you will forget who the you are. Because in the worst of times, you are alone. You must get your self out of the sewer. No one's coming in the sewer to get you. It's dark, it's nasty, there's rats down there. It's your brain. You are the only person that can pull yourself out. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. And some people will get it, some people won't. But they have to see what their journey is to start their journey. Several people live to be 100 years old, and they have great lives. all this stuff trapped my mind, it shackled my brain, it made me a prisoner within my own self, saying, this is all I can do. Because why? I'm afraid of this, I'm insecure over here, I got self-doubt over here, that behind me, good Lord, who knows what's behind me? I'm not gonna look behind me. So your life is this big, versus it being like, I can do all this if I start to break down these these different walls and barriers. And that's what I started realizing. I could become a Navy SEAL. I could become this, but I was afraid of the water. Think about this. Why the f are you gonna go be a Navy SEAL when all you do is play in the water? And we don't play, we're in it and we're living in it. Every day I wake up and I don't want to do something. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? You have to learn how to get up and do it. You ain't got no 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life sucks. You're in the dungeon. But guess what? I'm still going to get it. I had to stop giving a fuck about people. That was the biggest thing. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I realized that everybody's fucked up. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a fucking pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're going to judge me and I'm going to feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their fucked up world better than you have. That's all they've done. What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror? What am I going to do today? And a lot of it was I stopped sitting with the cool guys. I actually tucked my shirt in and went to school looking like, hey man, this is how I'm going to look. If you don't like it, so be it. I had to really wear this layer of skin. I had to develop a really calloused skin on me to take whatever you're going to call me, you're going to call me. Whatever I'm going to be, I wasn't a geek, but whoever I am, you're going to see me. You're going to see me for who I am because I need to change who I'm not. We all look for toughness. We all want it, but we look for it in a comfortable environment. You will not find toughness in a comfortable environment. I was trying to look for it everywhere. The only way you find it is to drown yourself in a position where you're just out of sorts, where you can't swim and you're drowning. You're drowning in life. But you say, you know what, man? Fuck that. I'm gonna figure out how to backstroke or fuck something. I'm gonna figure out how to, and then through figuring out, when you say fuck you, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, fuck, he's not leaving. So we gotta expand, we gotta grow. And then you start to engage parts of your mind that you never engaged before. I don't care what you believe in, doesn't matter. I'm not judging anybody. Let's say my thing is God. You get to heaven, I'm 300 pounds, I sit down, and we're sitting down just like this. You're God and I'm David. And he gives me that chart, and he says, look at this. Now look at this chart, and on the chart it has all these different things, but my name's on it. But these things aren't me. I was gonna change the world. I was gonna set records. I was gonna be a Navy SEAL. I was gonna be honored here, honored there. And I'm like, God, this isn't me. Like it says David Goggins, it says all these things. And God goes, no, that's who you were supposed to be. My biggest fear in life is that there is a final resting place in this world, and you talk to something much bigger than you. I don't want to sit down and have a conversation with someone that says, you're in heaven. This is what you should have been on earth. There may be some days I get up with poopy pants, and I'm like, you know what, man? F this, man. Like, why am I having this such a structured life? Why? And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done with this. And I sit around and I say, okay, so you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them, being fine with being mediocre. I'm like, fuck that, man. The worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, because it took a lot for me to learn also, I started finding self-esteem. Once I found that, that's when doors started opening up. I stopped caring about people, that what they thought, being judged. Wow, if I say this, if I started right now, are you gonna make fun of me? I stopped caring about that. And that's when my life started really changing for me, slowly but surely. I could barely read and write when I was a junior in high school. I wasn't going anywhere. I was a character. I was trying to find myself through a character. I was making different hairstyles and sagging my pants, and I was off. I was off, man. I was a clown. I was a clown. And I was like, this is not where you're supposed to be in life, man. I always equated working out to struggle. And I struggled my whole life, but I ran from it. So I started realizing, man, I gotta start facing the struggle, and I gotta be mentally strong for the struggle. So that's where I started coming up with, like, I'm training for life. Mentally, I'm training for life. I'm not training for, like, to lift 400 pounds. And I found out on my own pretty much, is that through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, and that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. Start to armor your mind, because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. That's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And that's how I started coming up. I just started being very uncomfortable. And now it's like just a way of life. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day. So my mind starts to get weak, and we start to forget about how badass we are. So basically what I do here is you have to make sure that your mind doesn't become spastic. When it's suffering, when it's in pain, all it wants to do is find the easy way out, which is usually quit. If you quit, the pain goes away immediately. You gotta give yourself enough energy and fuel in your mind to stay just a little bit longer so you can talk yourself into staying for the whole thing. And this is how it works. Most of us never start anything cold. If you're gonna go to college, you gotta study your ass off. But what happens is, in that moment when we need self-talk, when we're failing and we're in our worst spot possible, we forget all the build-up to where we're at today. We forget how much work we put in. We forget that we put years, maybe not into making these dials, but to getting where you're at today. You become this person to be in a position to make this money, whatever you want to make, whatever you want to do in your life. We forget that. We forget that journey on what it took for us to get in this moment to make the right decision. We have to reprogram our mind to get a different vantage point, so then you know how to be in charge of yourself versus your mind being in charge of you. But let's say I'm training for a 100-mile race and I get to mile 50 and I feel like and like everybody else, my mind gets soft. Why? Because I'm human. I'm not some damn, hybrid creature that was formed from the heavens above. No, not human. I suffer, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like it. Are you accountable for what you're doing? Are you accountable? And I mean to the T for what you're saying. I am. And that's where it started. It started with that total accountability of, let's not lie today. Let's tell people the truth.